Earlier today, Matt helped me when we planted some flowers in the back, dug up some comfrey, or didn't dig it up, got it out of the grow bag, and Matt dug up an area around the apple tree. We got that done. And I enjoyed being outside so much. It's been so different being in the hospital day after day with Granny, and I just was so relaxed. It was just wonderful. We went in and we had some dinner, got some bugs flying around, and then we come outside, sat in the yard with the girls, and me and the girls was eating some snacks, and Matt put together one of my Christmas presents that I had really forgot about, a wheel hoe. Wheel hoe, is that what it's called, Matt?
Hoe.
Hoe.
Wheel hoe.
Wheel hoe. Anyway, he put it together. I'd almost forgot that I even got it for Christmas, so we brought it down here and we're going to plant one long row of beets. We're going to plant some beets, and then Matt suggested that I wanted to plant some flowers in the front here, but he had the best idea is to, on the back side of where we usually do our tomatoes, I'm standing here by the cattle panel, I could do a strip there, so I'm going to do a strip there. And then in the, as summer goes on, I might put some up here. But usually in front of our cabbage there is where we put the okra every year. So if we put the beets in front of it, we'll still should have time. See a little, I got bugs on the camera now. If you see something strange, that's what it was. But we should still have room to put the okra there beside the cabbage. How's it working?
Yeah.
Matt says it's working good. He'd already tilled this up several times this winter, but recently even, so it's not that hard to use through. What have you got on it now?
Just
It's got different
a
furrow attachment. It's got different little attachments that come with it that you can swap out, which is really nice. So he's going to get this situated, and we're going to plant the beets. Usually I like to plant Detroit Red. That's the ones that do the best for us. That's mostly what I've got. I'm not going to by no means plant all of these, but I just brought them all down here. The Early Wonder Tall Top usually does pretty good too. And then I have a Bull's Blood. I'm not sure if I've ever tried that one before, but I must have bought it. So maybe I thought it sounded good, or maybe they didn't have the Detroit ones. Perfect for eating fresh, pickled, cooked, or used for dyeing fabric and cosmetics. Both cold and heat tolerant, making it a winner through the hardest seasons. Okay, so maybe I'll plant one pack of those, and then the Detroit, the rest, or one pack of Detroits and then those, the Bull's Blood. The valerian is blooming. It's almost as tall as I am. Really dainty little blooms. They're really pretty. Smells amazing. What often happens here around our house is if we disturb the ground, blackberries appear. So these are wild blackberries that have come up. They were coming up a little bit last year, but they've really thrived over the last summer, and then this summer's the first time they've bloomed. But this is the area on the bank where Thomas graded out for the raised beds. So all around each raised bed now we have some blackberries. These are just wild blackberries. Just a bonus of disturbing the soil. The bees are having a heyday with them. Strawberries that we had in this green stalk have drifted down to where they took root in this grow bag. We had potatoes in this grow bag last year. You can see they're in bloom. In some places you can see the little strawberries. There's one, a little green strawberry. I have to be watching it to see when they actually get ripe. Looks like there's several. I don't mean several as in a whole gallon or anything, but at least a handful. These grapevines have never produced grapes before, but this year I see some tiny grapes. So I guess they're about 3 years old, the vines that we have on this cattle panel. And it looks like they're actually going to have grapes on them this year. That will be really nice. My first popsicle of the summer. Matt's already been having them with Corey, but are they good?
We got to jump on you.
Mm-hmm. Mm. You got the grape. I got the peach.
I get the grape all the time. That's my favorite.
That's Matt's favorite. I like the peach and the coconut and the grape. Okay. And
Don't they make them in watermelon?
they do, but I
wanna
didn't.
try 'em.
I didn't like it. It wasn't a strong watermelon flavor. But I could buy some, and let you try them again, or I'll try them again. These are Outshine popsicles is what we like. They're supposed to be healthier for you. I'm not sure how much healthier they are, but they are good, tasty.
Yeah.
Especially when it's really hot in the summer. It's like lets you look forward to something. That sweetness gives you some energy, and the coolness helps you cool off a little. Pretty nice. Today has really felt like summer.
I'll do like Corey. She eat hers like I was going to take it away from her.
Did she? She was in a hurry.
Yeah. I was about halfway down. She'd been done.
You usually beat me because I talk too much.
I'd go along with that.
I figured you would. So today's just been a beautiful day. So nice. I've been thoroughly enjoyed it. This is back in my space, in my element with Matt, and it's been wonderful.
It's been a nice day.
Very nice. I teased Matt earlier and asked him if he just wanted me to go get the wheelbarrow. He could use it instead of the tractor. He said no, thank you.
I don't know if I'll ever use a wheelbarrow again. Of course, I did a little bit today.
This is the easiest you've ever spread mulch.
Gosh, yeah. I can do it that way, and I've always done it that way, but by this time I'm dragging. But I'm not now.
Yeah, it's been nice. And then Matt remembered my Christmas present, the wheel hoe, and it worked really good. Matt, I didn't use it, but Matt used it and was really pleased with it.
It'd be real good down there in that big garden when we were laying off rows for corn. We used to do it just with a hoe. 10 rows of corn, as long as that garden is, that'll wear you out.
Yeah, it's hard to get them straight too.
Hard to get them straight. This thing here it'll help with that, but it's just, to me, it's just easier than running a hoe. You just look down there where you want to wind up and just aim at it and take off walking with this thing, and it'll put you a straight row in. And the good thing is, it's got a healer attachment too. And once you get all the seeds in the ground, you can turn around and put that on and cover them up with it instead of having to drag it, drag it with a hoe or your feet like we've always done.
And what little attachments did it come with? Like a cultivator?
It come with a cultivator and a furrow attachment and a healer. And I've used all three of them today already.
And you said you thought that you could get different little implements for it, maybe?
You can. I remember seeing them when I was buying this thing. There's some other stuff that comes with it. I can't remember off the top of my head what they are, but I'll look and see. Just those three right there's been well worth it already.
Yeah. And I've seen these before, but Pap never had one that I remember. Maybe he did when he was growing up, or maybe his daddy did. But Matt and I wanted one just to try it to see for several years, and we would sometimes trying to find them cheap, like at an antique or junk store, but they were always about falling apart.
Either that, or if you find them in an antique store, they're crazy
well, yeah,
expensive.
crazy expensive.
And when I bought this one, I found one on eBay that was a sure enough antique one from the 1890s. And I'm sure it's much more robust than this one, and I really wanted to buy it for you for Christmas just simply because of its age, because it was from that era. But the wheel had flat spots in it, and I didn't know if I could find a wheel that would fit it, so I backed out and didn't buy that one. I just bought a new one, and I'm sure it's not made like the old ones were, but we'll be careful with it, and if it does break, I can probably fix it.
Yeah, you can fix most anything. So that's really worked good down there. Made that quick and easy.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah, a whole lot easier than with a hoe, especially right there where we were doing that's right up against the yard, so it's not very deep before it gets hard. And you usually have a hard time with a hoe, but that made it a whole lot easier.
I'm really glad. I see us using that a lot in the future.
So, I bought it for you for Christmas for me to use.
I know. I noticed that. I thought that was part of the present.
Well, we'll both benefit from it. But you can use it too.
Oh yeah, I could use it too.
Especially in soft ground somewhere.
Yeah.
When we get down yonder working, that ground's a hole. It's turned a lot deeper, so it'll be softer and won't be as hard. And if you end up needing to use it, you can use that instead of a hoe. I remember
That'd be good.
there's one of these hanging in my grandpa's barn when I was a little boy. I don't think he gardened by the time I come along. He was getting too old. But I can remember seeing it hitting some other implements hanging in there.
It would have been neat to have his.
Gosh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff in that barn I'd like to have had, but it's long, long gone. I used to play in there when I was a little boy. Right beside it, he had a hog pen. And I can remember before he died, and I was pretty small when he died, but I remember he had a big hog in there, and I'd always want to go down there and look at the hog in the pen. And I remember sticking my finger through the slats and getting bit, and he almost bit it off.
Oh gosh.
But they told me not to do it, and that's a good way to learn. From that point forward, I never stuck my fingers in there where the hog could get it again, so that's a fine way to learn.
You knew better.
Yeah.
It's the same one you fell off of and broke your arm?
No, that was our hog pen that Daddy had when I was little, where I fell and broke my arm. Grandpa had a big barn with a loft in it for hay and everything. He had a big barn. But by the time I come along, they weren't gardening big anymore. But the barn was still there, of course. But no, he never had. As far as I know, he never had tractors or anything. But back in the day, they had mules, and that's what they used to do their gardening with.
That's another thing that we're behind on, of course, is Matt's barn.
Way behind.
Way behind on
But I mean, if we get to it, it's just I don't know when. We got to get all this stuff planted first. Then I don't know. Maybe I can work on it a little bit at a time, but then we'll just have to keep, as the summer goes on, have to keep
weeding and harvesting
and maybe
putting up.
Now that I'm home, maybe we can do a little bit each day, and then I can get a little bit of time to try to figure out what to do about getting the barn built.
I think so.
Got lots of big ideas.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Yeah, well, we always have, and eventually we get them. It may take us a few years, but eventually we succeed.
I got to get something.
Keep pecking away at it till we get it.
And I got to get something built to get that tractor in.
We can put it in Granny's garage for now, but it'd be nice to have a barn to put it in. And when we decided, I think we shared that we were going to build the barn, and part of it, Austin and Corey will help us because Austin will need a place to put his lawnmower and some of his other outdoor stuff. So
see, I'm trying to help him.
Yeah.
He don't realize it. But if you got a barn built and you got a place to put things, then you can buy toys.
Oh yeah, that's how you're trying to help him.
There'll be a nice little space in there that's nothing's in that will perfectly fit a boat.
A
fishing boat.
Yeah.
So I'm looking out for him. Yeah. He just don't know it, and y'all don't realize it, but that's what I'm doing.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Us guys got to stick together.
I know.
Ain't no need in having something like that if you ain't got a boat sitting in it. And see, if he gets a boat, he can take me fishing.
Yeah, he could. That's true.
I'm smarter than I look.
You're smart. You're plenty smart. I hadn't thought about it like that. Matt's always teased when the girls were growing up that he was so outnumbered that even our dog was a girl, you know. But we're about to be outnumbered. The tides have changed, huh?
The worm's about to turn.
Yeah, me and Corey and Katie are going to be we're going to be outnumbered for the first time.
Let's see, there'd be,
We've still got Olive, but then y'all got Binks. So you're still going to be
gonna
outnumbers,
be-
even if you count the animals.
It's going to be 4-3.
Yeah. Yeah.
May turn back, though.
Might in the future.
Yeah. By then, I'll be too old to battle anyway.
Yeah.
I am now.
It's just fun to tease about.
Oh, yeah.
I still can't believe how green everything is, even though I was here. I got to come home once last week, and so that time I was really shocked. But even today, I'm just like looking around like, oh my goodness.
It's crazy. You see some of these trees, it's totally full of big leaves, and then you see a few
The
spattered in
oaks,
between them that ain't.
Oaks are still small. But they will be.
Yeah.
They'll be leafed out too.
Yep. That right there is the hickory,
Yeah.
and it's a little way behind the
Way
rest of them.
behind the rest, yeah.
But it'll get there.
Yeah. I've seen some blooms on our biggest apple tree. I don't know if you've seen them or not.
I ain't paid no attention.
I've seen some blooms on it.
Yeah, I see them now. Maybe we'll have some apples. That'd be nice.
Earlier today, Matt marinated some meat.
Yep. About to get time to get that
Yeah,
going.
got to go in and get it going. Matt and Corey and Katie all have been so helpful to me while I've been staying with Granny, and then when I do get to come home, the twice that I've come home, they've spoiled me by cooking everything. I've not had to do anything, and it's been really nice. So I'll head back to the hospital first thing in the morning, and Granny's had a really good day today. Paul's been texting me, and she's been up and actually got to walk down the hall, and so she's sending me a list of what she wants me to bring her back, things that she wants. So
She's done pretty good if she's sending lists.
yeah, she is. So that's really great news,
Yeah.
fantastic news
Yeah.
that she felt good enough today to get up. Yesterday, when I was still there, she said this is the strongest that I've felt. So I thought, well, I hope so. I hope it is. But I guess she was right. And then today she's felt even stronger. So
Good.
So hopefully, maybe by the end of the week, she'll be home.
Yeah.
We can all sleep in our own bed. I've teased about how bad I've missed my bed, but Granny's missed hers. I mean, who wants to sleep in a hospital bed? So she's missed hers most of all, I know. And of course, you can't get any sleep because people come in all hours of the night checking on you. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to. The nurses and doctors there, I mean, you just couldn't ask for nicer people. Every person that's come in contact with us has been super, super nice. But it will be nice to have Granny back home in the holler and all of us back home and doing the things we need to do and taking care of her too, of course. But she's as anxious as me and Matt to get the garden planted because she wants to eat the bounty from it, you know.
Yep.
She's talking about telling one of the doctors about her cornfield beans, and he was asking her, said he was from Kentucky originally, and was asking her if she'd ever heard of leather breeches, and she said, oh yes, oh yes. Started telling him stories about her family and how she liked them okay, but she'd rather have canned green beans. But she was telling him about, I think it was Kay and Junior Morgan, that they would, Kay and Junior Killian, that they would rather have leather breeches, so they dried all their beans. They didn't can any. Anyway, she's told us all kinds of stories while we've been sitting there with her.
Maybe she can come home and keep telling them
I hope so.
in the next few days.
I hope so. And I guess we better go so Matt can fix me something good to eat, and I can pack up my stuff and go get Granny's stuff and pack it up. So I'll be ready to go.
Yep.
Are you making me deer meat?
Yeah.
Cube deer meat?
Cube deer meat, boiled cabbage, corn, and maybe some garlic bread, possibly, something like that.
That sounds good,
Or
yeah.
I'll make some, we got them biscuits left too from
Oh,
last
we could
night.
just eat those, yeah. You could
Okay.
slice those and toast them.
Okay.
Matt made the boiled cabbage actually last night. Delicious.
It'll be even better today.
Oh, it was so good last night though. I ate way too much, but it was so good.
That cabbage is like beans. Next 2 or 3 days, it just keeps getting better.
What did you put in it? You had salt and pepper and
salt and pepper and some thick cut bacon.
yeah, Matt's
That's
mix.
it.
It was really good.
That's all it's in it. Water.
So good.
Yep.
So good.
I found that bacon in there that needed to be cooked. There was just 2 or 3 pieces of it left out of that pack. I was going to use just bacon grease, but I found that the actual strips of bacon. I just cut them in half and dropped them in there. I figured that'd be good.
It was.
It's some kind of hickory smoked bacon or something, but it was good.
It was really good. Yeah. It'll be really good tonight too.
It will.
We're always grateful when you stop by to help us celebrate Appalachia. And really exciting to get those beets planted, and I hope this year they do good. So the dogwoods are certainly in bloom. If that works, that's what I'm going to always remember, is plant your beets when the dogwoods are blooming.
We'll find her out.
We'll find out, yeah. Hopefully they will, and I'm really excited about all my flowers too. It's nice of Matt to help me with the flowers. He don't care much about them, but he knows they make me happy, so he's always up for whatever makes me happy.
Yep.
It's just really sweet. So we hope you keep dropping by to help us celebrate Appalachia so you can see the, what do you say, the fruit of our labors.
Right.
Good.
Yep. Oh.
That just looks so good over there that we did this morning, don't you think so?
It looks way better than it did.
So many weeds. I'd already weeded that once and dug up some stuff, but if you just in the summer, if you're just gone for 2 weeks, it just takes over.
Yard ain't growed this week like it did the last time you was gone, 'cause ain't been no rain.
Yeah. What really looks terrible is this bed behind us that we're showing, and the asparagus bed. Looks terrible, terrible. But
We get it.
yeah, they both need to be weeded really good, and then some compost put on them, and maybe even some mulch.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna put that tractor back down yonder and pull or back your car back up here,
Okay, so I can load up.
and then put this mess up, and then I'll come in and cook.
Okay. We can put that in the greenhouse, can't we? The wheel hoe.
Yeah.
Why is that so hard for me to say? Wheel hoe. I want to say hole. Wheel hole.
It's like you always call it a backhoe.
I do.
Yeah, it's a backhoe.
I know, backhoe.
I always get a chuckle out of that.
And I say wheelbarrow, barrel,
Yeah.
and it's not really a
It's
barrel.
barrow.
I know. I say
Or
barrel.
if you're from these parts, it's a wheelbar.
Yeah, I say barrel. Wheelbarrow. I can't help it. That's just what I say. It's like Corey and her laptop
Yeah. Yeah.
and her
just,
bathroom style
Yeah, that's ignorance. That's what that is.
laptop. Remember those first little things we got them? It was just toys. They wasn't real, and that's when she started calling it her laptop.
Yeah. Yeah, and you even tell her now that that's not how you pronounce it, and she says that's the way I say it.
Yeah, she does. She does. All right, well, I'll move all this stuff and put that up. You can move the tractor.
Yeah.
Although you got to teach me to drive it someday.
Get on there.
Well, not today.